Alright guys, Papa Pepper here, another episode of Getting to Know One Another where I just kind of, some of the steemians I interact with that I know offline, that I happen to cross paths with, or that I meet up with, like to just kind of give you guys a chance to put a face with their username, give them some added exposure, and just kind of share a little bit about some of the steemians in our community. So I'm Papa Pepper and this is Mobile-Joat. What in the world's a Joat?
Jack of all trades.
A jack of all trades, and I'll tell you what guys, I've truly come to know him as such. He's actually just working on my truck right now. That's why he's in his natural environment, which is going to be a garage or a shop.
Natural habitat.
Yeah, and you know, even with my farm animals as I've gone through, he's been through so much in his life that he could sit there and give me all sorts of great advice. When I gave my goats carrot juice, that was not my idea. Blame him on that one. So why don't you tell us just a little bit about yourself?
Well, we grew up on a farm, but we did a little bit of everything. It wasn't just necessarily stuck to farming or mechanicking or whatever, but the little bit we've learned growing up, and when I moved off the farm, I actually hated mechanicking. I hated it. But I learned that there was a better way, and I've grown to like it a lot better when you can do things right.
Right.
When you're doing things right, usually pays off.
It's better, and yeah, I mean, you got a lot of skills. I'll give you that.
Well, I do. I mean, I've learned to weld. I've learned to mechanic, farm, drive. I just bought anything, and even recently starting to pick up a little carpentry.
Oh,
So,
cool.
so it's beneficial all around. But
So, how did you hear about steaming?
well, actually, it was you. I mean, the ultimate here, Papa Pepper. He showed me in that, and I thought it was kind of interesting and a lot of helpful advice, especially his.
I've learned a couple things.
But he's done a lot of research, and I like to share it. I don't get often a lot of time to share, but what I do, I hope that everybody enjoys it. I guess I'm more of a little bit of a comedian at heart.
Sure.
And so I like to share a few jokes once in a while.
He had some good jokes about me a while back. Maybe I'll link that post when I put this up there. And, you know, like many people, he's found out, hey, there's this really great online opportunity that the steaming community, you know, the rewarding steaming community presents for everyone. And yet life gets so hard, so carried away, it's hard to always make time in. And then a lot of his time, too, has been spent researching, which has been cool. So if somebody chooses to follow you, what type of stuff are they going to see?
Well, right now, my most recent ones is a little bit of jokes, but mostly I try to post stuff that try to help the person out, because for mechanicking wise, because I see a lot of what's most frustrating is people that try to fix their vehicles and think they know where they're starting because they're frustrated with shops that have given them a run for their money. I mean, basically, I mean, I as just one example, right now I'm currently on one as a Cadillac. And the guy has had it through 9 different shops in the last 3 months. At the last shop, he drove it in there, and we had to trailer it out, and the guy charged him $900 to take out a car that will not start.
Ouch.
And it was driven in there, along with a missing battery, hood struts, and a scratch in his fender that's down to the steel.
Wow. See, so, I think a lot of people have had it up to here with mechanics, and you know, you wouldn't get away with that heading into a doctor. How many times do you say, okay, I gotta switch out your stomach, I gotta replace your heart and whatever, just because you came in for a health checkup? I mean, not that don't happen, but so I understand
occasionally
that.
You hear of a guy who's went into the doctor to have a leg amputated and come out with the wrong leg amputated.
Sure.
But I guess finding a bad doctor is about like finding a good mechanic. So
I think you know, as well, there's been a lot of times where I'm trying to do more of my own stuff now just because it's more cost effective, where I'm sitting there with troubles and all of a sudden I'm on the phone with him and he's walking me through without even being there. He just knows pretty much what he's looking at under the hood, or I can snap him a picture and that type of stuff. So
sometimes a little picture gets me a long ways, because when you start running a whole bunch of vehicles, they kind of running together.
Sure. So anything you want to say in closing?
I appreciate the steaming community. I appreciate the help. I appreciate Papa Pepper. He's done a lot of good for me. I believe we share that. I hope that any advice I have to help others out in the steaming community, I'm glad to help when I can. Sometimes it's hard to, because you know, life gets in the way and other people are trying to get help too. But I think that's about all I got to say right now. I mean, I could talk forever, and you can ask Papa Pepper. I'd
It's a
burn your
true
ear
story.
off.
So he's actually got some more work to do. That's why we're sitting in the garage. I got the premium platinum preferred customer, so I slid my truck in ahead of this other guys, got my stuff taken care of quick, and I'm about to pull out and go check if the mama goat had babies or whatnot. So thank you once again. Appreciate it. And we're going to let him go back to work. Mobile-Joat.
Yep.
Jack of all trades, guys. Thanks much. Papa out.